Well, we got all of our glass from the glass shop. So we got our rear, look at that, all tinted, nice. We went with the green tint safety glass. This is our front window, tinted. I don't know if, well, you can buy it with the green tint, so that should be okay. And then we got our side glass. Got it done, super affordable. I think so. Not that there's actually a lot of glass. I think it was under 300 bucks. I got both windshield, both side, and the back glass done for this thing. In, like I say, laminate safety glass. So it's got the glue in the middle there. So that's pretty good. We got a local shop in town. I think it's called A&H Glass is their name. It's in Steinbach there. It is, I don't know. I know a lot of folks that I know from the city come out because the prices are way cheaper than they are in the city. So anywho, we got that done. I think at some point tonight or so, I'm gonna get this together or get them glued into the truck. So at least we got our cab is closed. That's what I want to do. But I'll probably just dust in some paint around these edges. I'd rather have the glass in and then I can tape it up. The less I fidget around, well, you've seen how clumsy I am. If I got to do a lot of work around a painted vehicle, I am just going to wreck it. So, but for this round, what are we doing? We're going to mount the seats. I think I'll do some templates, kind of get the interior, a couple of the panels made for the inside. And we'll see where we go from there. I'd like to get the cab and the box off. Same with the grill. And kind of get them, start prepping them for paint. And, but we'll see how far along we get. Anyways, I guess that's the plan. If we fulfill all of that, that'll be the question. Anyways, may as well get started. All right, so I've done a bunch of work. I didn't show it on camera because I didn't think it was really that interesting. What I did was I cleaned the threads on these. I ran some screws through it. Whatever, if you can see this. I ran the screws through it, ground the edges off so they're not poking through. I sandblasted the frames. I put, because when this is together, this thing sits down, so I put a riv zerk or riv nut or whatever in the middle of there instead of a screw, so it kind of sits tight. And then this pokes out of the top. There's a hole on there, so when it's together, it kind of sticks there. I might put a bolt or a nut or something on it. I drilled out these ends, so when everything's together, it said bolts that I made or nuts. Come on, baby. There we go. So when it's all together, I can bolt everything together like it's supposed to. The only thing left to do now is basically because I sandblasted everything, I cleaned it all up. I basically want to paint it, or at least like get it in primer, put some paint on it. Then I'm going to end up making my own rubber to go around the outside. I'm going to glue the glass into here. You know, not the best thing, but it's kind of what I do. Helps from rattling, just seals it so I'm not worried about it actually leaking. On the edges where the joints come together though, I'm going to try to reuse the ones that are originally in the frame. So I'm going to take this off so I can snap it over, just so this stuff's not like welded together. That's kind of important to me. This thing I still have to blast. This is like the cap to cover this. So I got to blast and shorten it. Got to take a lot out of it. We got to get the glass in it. I'm not sure on my final color on it. But for now, I'm just going to hit it with some Tremclad. I'm thinking, like I said, I've told you folks, I think I did, that I'm thinking I'm going to paint this thing white. Well, a green white with or a white with a green candy. So I'm not 100% what I want my window frame to be. I might just hit it with white, or man, it's gonna look weird. So you're gonna have a rubber around the outside. So I'm really mixed on the color yet. I don't know what color to paint the window frame. If it's black, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But maybe just a silver. Yeah, now that I think about it, I'll just do silver. It'll look off, but at least it'll match the grill or something. So anywho, I'm just gonna put this up. I'm gonna shoot some paint or some primer on it. And then we can at least get the window, the glass in. It's kind of done. We'll figure out the window channel that I'm gonna put on there. That is gonna be, where is it? I don't have any, so my goal is, what I've done on my T was I actually just took a garage door bottom. I think this goes into a channel and makes a U. But if I slice this, I can make it like infinite. I know on the Model A's or the T's, this thing actually fits in really well. So my T that was in here, I actually used it. And I think I trimmed it back to like this first little notch or whatever. And I was able to slide it into the channel, and it makes a good seal. When it rains, nothing comes in. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'll have to modify this a little bit because I think I'm going to have to take the window channels weird on the truck. I'm going to cut one side of this off so I can kind of fold it and manually push it in to the slot on the window frame, which is not a big deal. But I might have to put a little bit of glue in there just to make sure it doesn't come out, because you can see the slot in here it doesn't have anything to really hook. So I'm going to do a half U-ey, push it in with like a razor blade or a knife or something, and then put a little bit of glue in there. Should hold her in place. Should be golden. So I don't know. We don't have any of the weird rubbers. Well, I could order it, but I got a garage door bottom. I don't know what it cost. $10. Pretty cheap. Same thing for the rattles on the truck. For the window rattle, anti-rattle, whatever you want to call them. Again, picked up some stuff from Canadian Tire. It's sticky. I'll be able to put it inside the door so it'll stop it from rattling. I'll do that after I paint it. But yeah, let's just get some paint on this and enough gabbing, and we'll just do this thing, get her together. So while that paint is drying, I decided to sandblast this spreader, whatever, the little cap. And it is pretty much a hot mess. There's a whole lot of holes and stuff in it. So I don't know if I'm going to use that. But that said, this sweet regulator I got, well, it's pretty rotten. And I've been trying to fix it. And I did have it working. And then it kind of got binded up in the door and then just kind of murdered itself. So, yeah, not cool. So the weird part with this track is it needs this little bump going down to keep it in the groove, and same into here. So it was kind of popping off the track, so I tried welding some washers on the end, which was working. And then somewhere along the line it got goofered and kind of just destroyed itself. So I got to make one. I looked out in my junk pile. I found, I don't know what this is, but it looks to be kind of what I want. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the one side of this off, make two halves that I can sandwich together, zap it. Or is it better if I go this way? I mean, it's just got to hold the glass. Maybe I split it down the middle. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out. But I do have this piece which has the parts that I need. So I'll bust this off. I bust this off. I'll make sure they're sitting in where they're supposed to sit. Then I can build this new channel that's gonna kind of be my new window channel regulator thingamabobber. And yeah, I don't know. Seems pretty straightforward. We'll just start cutting stuff up here and try to make one of these. You ever do something really, really dumb, but you're pretty married to it once you start? I, for one, have put my window in backwards, to which now I have this humongous mess of urethane everywhere. Urethane is so much fun to clean off of stuff. Especially a finished painted surface. Not worried about the glass, I'll razor blade that off after. Be going through a few rags here. See, this is people why they ask I put the glass in after. Because I would do dumb stuff like this. And have a freshly painted car that I've just murdered, full of urethane. Can't be the only guy who does this though. I suppose a lot of you are asking what I'm doing at this point. And I think I'm giving up on glass tonight because I'm just making a complete mess out of everything. So anyway, I took the back glass. What I did is, you seen me Sharpie it. I put some tape around both sides because usually when you glue it in, I like to just do the old finger squeegee around so it has a nice finish. And then like I can peel the tape off and you have a nice edge. So that was the plan. Unfortunately, my thing here decided to take a twist on the bottom, and then it exploded all my urethane, and I only got the one tube with me. So it kind of exploded inside. So that's why you're seeing me try to salvage it with a spatula or a putty knife. I was working my edge. So, yeah. That was my effort of trying to fix a bad situation. So anyways, we got that one. And we got this complete mess of a glass in. I wanted the inside clean just because, well, that's needs to be clean. The back isn't too bad because I haven't sanded the outside, so I can kind of scrub and screw that one up. That's not a problem. So all of this on the outside, you'll be able to just take a razor blade and clean it off. I don't know if you can actually see it. Can you see better with a light? No, not really. But it's there. Trust me. And there's like urethane everywhere. So we'll step back for now. We'll have a wobbly pop there and ponder my life's decisions here keep working at this. Anywho, I'm still waiting for the paint to dry. I don't think I want to tackle my front windshield tonight because that's just going to be a disaster waiting to happen. And this one, I still got to build that whole window track and stuff. So we'll save that for tomorrow when my hands are clean and I don't get urethane on everything. So for now, we got, well, it's got the slight green tint, which is what I wanted. Yeah, if you look right, you can see. She's got a green tint to it. It's going to work with the rest of the truck. Okie dokie. Well, until tomorrow. Well, I put the window together. I didn't quite show it. Actually, I didn't show it. But I glued it. I got lots of glue in there, so it tried to cut a little bit, but it's dry, but it's not fully dry. Like it sat overnight. I did put the little tabby things in, which I kind of made a little bit of a mess, but all they did is they snapped in, folded over, and you just kind of pinch it. So that cleaned up that edge. Again, I'm going to have to make a new center doodad because this thing's pretty hammered. It's supposed to just cover up the center bar, make it look just prettier, that's all. But we're going to let that dry. I don't know if I'll put it on the truck or anything yet. I do have to do the rubber around the outside, so that'll be coming up yet. But we got to get to this window channel that's all buggered up, so I'm going to start on that so I can do the other door. I've cleaned up the glass and stuff that I've done already. when I do the other side, it'll be much cleaner. I'll walk you through everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna have to, tomorrow when I go to town, I'm gonna have to get some Velcro, because that's what I'm gonna use for the window channel in the doors, just so the windows don't rattle around. All right, well, I've set it down. We bolted the seats in, but I'm finding I'm sitting way too high. Well, not too high, but I'm sitting a little higher. So I kind of just grabbed the chunk of foam. I feel like I fit much better where I felt I should have sat. I don't know why the framing's doing something different. And as pretty as my seats are, I've had to murder them up a little bit here just to get the clearance that I needed in a few spots, which is no big deal because, well, now you don't see it. But anyways, I got to get some more foam now because this looks good. I need a thin piece of foam for the back. This is okay. I'm going to trim this up. I'll just upholster this flat foam. In the end, I don't know why. For some reason, I guess because it's a little thinner at the bottom. Maybe the outer edging and stuff like that makes me sit a little higher. But anyways, when I was sitting with that thing, with those original seat bottoms on the floor, this is getting me that same seating. So I just need to get some more of this dense foam here and sit on that. Not a problem, not a big deal. We will get that sorted out. We have our window frame in. I've just temporarily screwed it in. I was kind of just seeing how it fit, and then I was like test fitting my garage door bottom to see how far in or out I got to go with this. I'll probably turn this around and do it on the back side, just so it's just a smooth piece of rubber. But when it's closed, actually I'll just close it really quick and I'll show you. Okay. All right, well, you can see it's not like this perfect gap. So once this thing's in there, I'm trying to figure out roughly how far out I'm going to go, which is like about an inch out. It'll sit tight everywhere kind of thing. And then we'll probably have a like a foam pad inside to seal stuff up as well. This is more just to pretty the edge and whatever, make it pretty. Some people asked, this is provisioned and fitted for my wiper arm, so it's going to come down. It'll run on my driver's side. I don't need one on the other side because, well, quite frankly, I don't have to see out of that side, let alone with this setup. I don't imagine I want to be driving in the rain if I can avoid it. So anywho, yeah, that's basically about as far as I got tonight. Not a lot, but I got a little bit done. Kind of tweaked my back, so I'm kind of slowly plugging away as I'm very limpy around. I did get a different set of door handles on. These aren't the ones I was going to use, but I don't know. I think they look actually pretty good for what they are. So that is the door handles that I am using. I've cleaned up my glass. I've done my fuzzies, but I'll show you that when I do the other side. I'm still have not gotten to making that other window channel yet, but I do have like all my glass other than the one door. So front's in, side's in, back is in. Yeah, I just got to get my butt down, and it's tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do it. I'm going to make that piece of channel that I have to do. Then I'll get that glass in, and then I'll kind of show everything I did. The lowdown is on this side I used that fuzzy that I told you inside of there. I haven't done it on this side of the glass yet. And then for the window channel everywhere around inside, I just used some Velcro, some peel and stick Velcro. So this is kind of my go-to here. Well, I don't usually use this, but I don't have any glue, so I just pick some of this stuff up. And then you kind of fold it in and whatever. It works really well for the window channel. So as you can see, when this goes down inside, that's basically what I've run throughout there. And then this is my window in action. So when the window does its thing, you kind of get about a gap about yay big, and then it closes up. I dig it. Kind of cool. Anyhow, till tomorrow. Right, pup? Yeah. So I changed my plan. Instead of cutting up that bar that I had here, I decided to make one from scratch. My first attempt might have worked, but I didn't like the bends. So you see me run it through the bead roller, which gave me the groove for the slider to go down so it won't pop off. And then I made the grooves this way when I bent it, and then this was a little wide. So I remade it. I think it's probably a little hot still. So I remade it, but I did the bends the other way, kind of like what the factory channel would have been like. So I did that. You see me mark it out on the bench where these slides, everything are supposed to go. Where was it? Something like this. So I have my positioning right for everything. So I buzzed them all on. I kind of went back and forth, tested it. Seems to work really good. I did have to tweak this just a hair, but it's all good. So I'm gonna put some paint on this, grease up the rails, and we're gonna put it in the truck, and then we can actually put in that last piece of glass. So yeah, Anyways, I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit. Then I'm gonna spurt some paint and we'll stab it all together. Well, that is probably the best piece of glass that I put in. So it's in, fuzzies are in. I ran the Velcro around. I just trimmed it with a razor blade, whatever was hanging over. I was using the putty knife just to square it up because there's not really much of a window channel in there. The glass is working as it should, but it doesn't quite hit that center track that does the movement thing. But I'll fix that up after. So you can kind of see. It should just stop it from rattling and stuff. That's the idea over here too. I got to add some fuzzies on this side of the door, but at least, yeah, you can see this thing's not hitting the... I'm gonna basically, I always have to help this thing out. I think this thing needs to be tweaked back a little bit, but not a problem. We'll do that and then I'm gonna let the glue dry, put the stop in, get that set, and we'll move on to something else. Hey buddy. Well, I tried starting to tear this apart. I was pulling everything off the firewall. I figured because I had a new master cylinder and I bled my brakes, I could just lean it over, but unfortunately it decided to spew its guts on my wrap, which was terrible. So I've soaked it with some brake clean. Hopefully it'll clean it That is awful. It's gonna stink like crazy when we fire this thing up, but anywho, so I had to do this a little different, had to bend it a little bit different. You'd think a new master cylinder shouldn't leak out, it should actually seal, but I guess the new junk doesn't do that. Anywho, I'm gonna let the shop air out here because we got brake clean and like a lot of brake clean sitting in the air. But anyways, the plan when I get back is I'm gonna set it down. I probably put the truck over on this hoist and then I can pull the cab off. I'm gonna get the box off and we're gonna get them into the paint booth and sort of sand and prep them. We'll do it in there and get it ready for paint. Well, we got everything stripped off. I murdered one of my e-brakes because I screwed up and didn't remember how I put stuff together. Oh well, I guess I'll have to order another one of those. So we got everything in the booth, other than the grill. Still got to do some cleanup in here, but it's not a big deal. We got to disassemble a few things. I got to take the front window frame out, so I got to put some paint on there. I want to put a bit of paint in there. And just start sanding stuff. I think that's going to be the next round of things to do. Yeah, pull door handles off. I'm leaving the glass in. The less things I move, the better off I am. And yeah, I guess next round we're just going to start sanding stuff. Sanding and putting a little bit of paint on it. We got to put some paint. We got to get the firewall. I want white. So that's the plan here. I don't know if I'm going to go there or I'm going to bring it up into this line or up into this line. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'll spray it and I'll see how I like it. But anyways, this is where we're at. All right, well, I guess this is where I'm going to leave this one, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one when we get to do some sanding and painting. Later.